KASH'S birth story. How KASH was made. I'm just kidding. No, this is KASH'S birth story that we're gonna go into. So, hello, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. It is the Lifestyle Mom, and it's kind of like where we do mom lifestyle videos. So there's a lot of kids in my videos. There's a lot of kid tutorials on how to do kid things, and just, you know, incorporating kids in our day-to-day life, you know, because we're parents, obviously. So if you guys like or would like to see videos like that, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, like all my videos, watch them all, and let me know what you guys think. So today is KASH'S birth story. It's not his birthday. His birthday was on Mother's Day this year. It fell on Mother's Day.
It wasn't Mother's Day.
And it happens like every 10 years or something. His birthday will fall on Mother's Day. So the next time that your birthday falls on Mother's Day, it'll be Mother's Day. It'll be Mother's Day. He'll be 15, and it will be Mother's Day, obviously. So with his birth story, it's kind of crazy. I started it, well, first it was my first kid ever, right? So I got pregnant with him a week. It was the day that I hung out with my baby daddy. Literally that day. 3 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. We weren't even dating, like technically not dating yet. We weren't a thing yet. But yeah, so I ended up getting pregnant, right? And I started feeling Braxton Hicks really early in my pregnancy. So, and I was stressed out a lot, okay, you guys, because during my first pregnancy, it was the worst experience to ever go through as a woman. My baby daddy went into rehab multiple times, and so I did it alone. And then when he got out, he started ignoring me, and I just didn't know why, you know. So I just, you know, remember him coming up with excuses to break up with me all the time. And I think I just, in my head, I was like kind of denying like what he was trying to do, and I think he was trying to guilt trip me into breaking up with him, but it never worked. So I had my baby shower, and he was up north, you know, at this time. I haven't seen him in forever. And I was like probably sick. I was like 6-7 months pregnant. And after the baby shower, I went to his sister's, my baby daddy's sister's house, and we were just hanging out. I was venting to her to all my problems and stuff like that. And I just texted him. I was like, yo, like, what's going on? And he texted me like everything. Like, he texted me everything I need to know. He said, hey, we need to talk, you know. I might have the text message up here. That's how crazy I am. Hey, we need to talk, you know. And then he told me, I'm talking to somebody else. I want to be with her, da-da-da-da. Like, I'm still going to be there for the kid and all this bull crap, you know. So there was a whole thing. And I think I was like almost 29 weeks pregnant, right? And 2 days later, I woke up and I was bleeding everywhere. Literally, I like woke up and I thought I had peed myself, and there was like blood everywhere. Where? And I freaked out.
Where, Mom?
When I was pregnant with you. And I freaked out, so I ran to the bathroom, pulled out my pants, and there was blood everywhere. And I ran to my sister's room, and I was like, call 911, like, we need to go to the hospital right now. Oh my god, like, I was just hysterically crying. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning, guys, and I called my mom. I was like, I'm bleeding, like, I need to go to the hospital and all that stuff, like. So my mom rushed me to the hospital, and when I get there, they immediately put an ultrasound on my belly, and they found a heartbeat and all this stuff. So they immediately they knew something was wrong, but they didn't know. I don't know, but they didn't have a labor and delivery in Howell, so I had to get rushed to Ann Arbor. So I had an ER come pick me up, an ambulance come pick me up, an ambulance come pick me up and rush me from Howell to Ann Arbor. And then that's when I realized that I kind of had some blood clotting between my cervix and my placenta, but they didn't know where the blood was, like, coming from. They didn't know at all where the blood was coming from. They just seen that there was a blood clot that was, like, blocking my cervix, and I also had placenta previa to make it all worse on top of that, right? So I'm 29 weeks pregnant. I got like 11 weeks more to go. And they put me on monitors. So I'm on monitors for twice a week. I have to do an ultrasound twice a week. Or once a week. I had to do ultrasound once a week and monitoring twice a week. So I was in there 3 times in 1 week for 10 weeks. I was in there, okay? And they were just monitoring basically everything. He wasn't measuring as what he was supposed to be, and he wasn't gaining the proper amount of weight that they wanted him to gain, so that they originally scheduled for his C-section to be on April 20th, so on 4/20. And I was excited because I wanted just to get him the F out of me at that point. When I was 29 weeks pregnant and I went to the hospital, I just wanted him out of me. I'm like, please, yeah, you can take him out. They're like, no, like, he's way too small. He's not going to survive if we take him out right now. There's a very small chance that he, like, will survive. So I was like, oh my God, you know, like, I was big. I'll send you, or I'll post a picture right here. I was big and everything, so they planned the C-section and everything, and they were like, you know, if everything goes well and the baby is growing, then we're going to cancel the C-section. And I'm thinking, are you serious? So I planned to have a C-section on this day, and now, so as the day is approaching, right, it's like a week before the C-section, I go in for my ultrasound, and he's doing really good. Cash is growing. They're like, well, we want to keep him in there a little bit longer. And I'm thinking, you guys have got me so excited to get this kid out of me this early, and now I have to wait even longer. Like, I was just so, I remember I was so mad at that point. I was like, I don't want to wait any longer. Like, but they were like, you know, it's best if the longer he's in there, the longer he gets to grow and the healthier he is. So I'm thinking, you know, that is true. So I just went along with it. I literally went along with it. And he wouldn't come out. He literally would not naturally come out. So finally, they, after monitoring him, he wasn't gaining that much weight. They were like, you know, we're going to induce you on 29 weeks if you haven't already went into labor by yourself. So, of course, I didn't go into labor by myself. I was 39 weeks pregnant, and they were like, okay, on your 39th day of being pregnant, your 39th week of being pregnant, we're going to bring you in to induce you. So I'm like, okay. So they mentioned, you know, the first time that you get induced, it could take longer. And then I'm telling everybody I'm getting induced on this day, and everybody's telling me, don't get your epidural. If you get induced, don't get your epidural until the very last minute. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. So I'm like, trying to listen to what everybody's trying to say. Because, you know, I'm a first-time parent. You gotta, like, you get all of this feedback from all these professional parents that, like, you get so overwhelmed with stuff. But, like, me, I took it all in. I'm like, okay. And I did what I wanted with my own advice that I got. I don't know. But it ended up working out. So, my baby daddy got there, right, when I was there in the hospital. They get ready to do the induction, and he was in a halfway house, so we only had one overnight stay that he could stay there with me. So, like, the first night, I got induced. So everything was kind of like slowly like starting to happen. And I just remember that like I went in, they gave me this medicine, and I started feeling stuff. I started feeling contractions. And like I had it for like 12 hours, 12, 16 hours. I was contracting. And it kept getting worse. So after the 24th hour, I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to get this kid out of me, right? My mom was like, just go last as much as you can, like last as long as you can, right? And during that second day, I couldn't do it anymore, and I had to take the epidural. So I got the epidural. I was at like a 4 or 5 at that point, and I got my epidural. Literally only at a 4 or 5. That's how bad my contractions hurt. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I think the epidural ended up delaying my labor like a little bit. So by a little bit, by like 6 hours, I think it delayed it. Okay. So I'm in labor for like, I don't know, another 12, like 15 hours maybe. I was in labor for 39 hours. Legit 39, a whole work week I was in labor with this kid. And it came up to the second night where, my baby daddy already had his overnight stay from the rehab, so he had to go home. And I just remember I kept begging him. I was crying so hard, and I was like, please, like, don't leave. I really need you here. And like me and him were both crying, like, and he was with a whole nother girlfriend. He had a whole girlfriend at this point. I got his first kid, and he's went and dumped me for another girl. That's how my first pregnancy went. It came around midnight. After he left, we said our goodbyes or whatever. It was around midnight. And I'm like, you know what? Put me on all fours. Put me on a beanbag. Put me on all fours. And I'm going to try to take a nap. So I did. I ended up passing out for a few hours. It was actually really good sleep. Plus, I was on my epidural, so I wasn't feeling anything, okay? And I woke up and I was like, Mom, like, it's time. Like, I just remember waking up and I felt like I felt like I had to poop. There was like a huge, like, there was just some kind of intuition that was telling me like I had to push because there was something down there. So I woke up my mom and I was like, Mom, like, you need to call the doctor. I need to push. So she called, the nurse came in and was like, okay, we're going to lay you on your back. We're going to turn you around, slowly turn you around, lay you on your back. Because I'm on my epidural, right? And I'm like, okay. So we turned over. I laid on my back. I scooted up. I put my legs up. And she was like, oh, yeah, his head's right there. And I was like, oh, my goodness. She's like, well, if you feel like, we're going to wait for the doctor to come in here. But if you feel like you have to push, push. And I said, I feel like I have to push. So she's like, all right, we'll push. So I was like, all right. And I pushed. And she's like, okay. When you feel like you have to push again, like, push. So I pushed again. And then he was coming out. And they were like, okay, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. So I pushed 2 more times. And he literally was out. And in 4 pushes, 5 minutes, he was freaking out. I just remember it was the quickest. I'm like, oh my God, it was the quickest thing ever. I had my best friend in the room with me, my ex-best friend in the room with me. She was in there. When I knew that I was getting ready, I made sure to text her and was like, hey, come up here, because she was there waiting for me to give birth. I was like, hey, since baby daddy's not going to be in here, do you want to be in here? And she's like, yeah. So she got to hold my leg, and she videotaped me giving birth to Cash. So it's like crazy that I got my first birth on video. And she was like she got the good angles. Let's just say that. She got the really good angles. She got it all. The whole birth. And it was really awesome. I remember we were just watching it over and over again on the next day, and I'm just bawling my eyes out like, oh my God, I can't believe I just had a baby. So it's crazy the experience that you feel having a child, like, and being in the hospital after you just pushed a baby out. It's so amazing. It probably would have felt even better if I had somebody to enjoy it with that actually wanted to have a baby then and there with that person. So, but anyway, Cash was born. He ended up being 6 pounds and 8 ounces. So he was 6'8". And I was like, I think I was 6'8" when I was born as well. My mom cut the birth certificate. My mom cut the birth certificate. My mom cut the umbilical cord. So she was there also. My mom was there in the room. My best friend was there in the room. I asked my best friend to be there. Under dad, under who else is going to be in the room, it says, under dad, it said Sam, for my best friend, you know. And my sisters were actually in the room. They got stuck in the room. They were just kind of coming in to visit me, and I was laying down, and when I woke up, they were in there, and they just kind of got stuck in the moment. They kind of closed the door on them, and they were like, all right, it's time to go, and they were just like, well, we're just gonna sit back and chill. So they were watching everything from, they were at my feet. She's like, we watched you, we seen you give, birth to the placenta. They that's how they said it, give birth to the placenta. I was like, ugh, but you have to deliver that after you give the baby. You don't really feel, they push on your belly and all that stuff, so it's you don't really feel any of that, but.
I don't feel comfortable.
Okay, we'll lay down, cover up. So, yeah, after the second day we went home, though, it was pretty good. It was pretty awesome. I had a really hard time with him because my baby daddy was with somebody else, and I wanted to be with him so bad, and I was pregnant with a child, and it was just a whole love thing. So I honestly, my pregnancy was bad. It was horrible emotionally. The first year he was born, it was horrible emotionally. So it took me a few years to be unemotionally attached to him, to his dad. To be whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I was obsessed. There was a point where I was obsessed. It was bad.
Mom, where's Mom?
But that is my birth story. I know I was kind of talking a little fast, but it is still 18 minutes long, is what I'm looking at on my things. But when I cut it, it'll be a little less. But you guys, thank you so much for listening to my long story, my monotone story. I'm so tired, and I did 2 videos already. As you can tell, you'll be able to tell by the background. All the birth stories have the same background in it, pretty much. I don't know, Carter's I'm not going to do tonight. I'm just going to do Kash's and mine. And then I'm going to edit them and upload them. So I don't know which one I'm going to do first. I think I'm going to do Kash's first, so you'll probably see this one first. And then the next one you'll see is mine, because I have to get my mom's input on my birth story, because it's really crazy. It's wicked. So, yeah. But until next time, you guys, in a few days, stay tuned. I'm going to be doing this more regularly. I know I feel bad because I say that, but I haven't been. I've been posting every few weeks instead of every week. But your girl's got to get her shit together for real. So anyway, make sure you guys are liking. Just hit that like button right now. Right here. I don't know where it's at. Right here. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it right now. I'm waiting. And then hit the subscribe. I'm watching you. Hit the subscribe button, please. And then I will see you guys in a few days. And if you hit that bell that's right over there, it'll notify you when I upload. So, bye.